I want to go ahead and quickly introduce our main person here, our district governor, Sharon. And I wanted to just share just a couple of things here before we get started. I know I want to give you enough time to, if people have questions, but I have this nice booklet that she was able to share. Folks can see online here with us. I'm not sure if you remember giving these out. So every president in the got these little notebooks, and let me tell you, I got ready to write some things down in the conference. I did. I've got 1 page worth of items in here, but I got so busy with trying to do things for the club that I haven't had a chance to kind of fill out all of these things. So I'm hoping that I'll get some more time to do that, but I want to just thank this club for kind of standing alongside of me and really just kind of helping me to kind of get to where I am today. It's good to have notes, but it's even better to have those folks that are in the flesh that kind of help to move you along to make you a better president. So I want to thank you for all that you have done. Past presidents, I think you all know who you guys are. I'm looking at you guys right now. You kind of keep me on the straight and narrow, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate your just how much you care about Rotary and how much you've taught us about Rotary, those folks who are coming through. And I really love the idea about the state fair idea and that theme and that idea. And I'm looking forward to being there to really celebrate Rotary and bring what we do to a larger audience. I think that's one of the things that you've really worked hard to make sure that we're able to share kind of who we are as Rotarians with the rest of the world. And so with that being said, I don't want to waste any more time because I'm really excited about you being able to present to us here today.
Wonderful. And you will give me the 2-minute warning when you want me to finish. And is there a gong in case you don't like it? So, oh yes, I have to be here. Hello, everybody. Hi, Sarah. Hope you're feeling better. All right, so I will, so who in the room doesn't know me already? Oh, buckle your seatbelts. You're going to have a great time today. We're going to have a really good time. So I will start in the beginning. There we go. There we go. And also, whoops, let me go back. Sorry, a bit heavy-fingered. And then Debbie Belfry, if you'd like to stand up for a second. She is my assistant governor. I have like 12, I think of 12, 15 of them. We took them to the Viking Stadium for training because they're your coaches. So she looks after how many clubs?
There are 8 of them, 9.
Yeah, see? So you rule them. She's there to be your coach, to tell you anything that she needs, and I can't thank you enough for doing that. No, just having a giggle. Thank you so much, Debbie. And so it's always fun to visit you in your home club. And then for Dwayne, I've had the best job in the world training the incoming presidents, and they're just superstars, and I'll tell you a few more reasons as to why in a minute. But I'll start at the beginning and tell you a little bit about myself, is that I was born in the UK, but my dad worked in oil, so I grew up around the world. And so this was me in the Congo, in Kinshasa, when I went to school there when I was 6. That was my first little passport photo when I was there. So I had a wild and very interesting upbringing, but I learned at a very, very young age just how fortunate I was to be born to the parents I was, with the passport I had, and just seeing abject poverty from a very young age. I knew that it was my responsibility that however well I did in life, it was important to do, to teach others and help others in turn. So I never had any regular childhood diseases. I didn't have chicken pox or mumps, but I did have malaria. My dad has had dengue fever twice in the last 12 months. So we are the family of tropical diseases. So just a little bit more exotic there. But with Rotary is that I've wanted to do this district governor job for 12 years. I was president of my club 12 years ago, Minneapolis number 9. They called me queen instead of president, which I really liked, and they still do. And although they dethroned me after a year, so that was not very nice. But yeah, I was thinking it was a job for life. But my employer at the time, he was very generous in allowing me to be president of my club, and he was also a Rotarian, a City of Lakes Rotarian. But again, when it came, as soon as I finished my year, which was truly one of the best years of my life, I was on a flight somewhere that year, and I thought, oh, if I die now, I'm going out on top. And so I thought after that year, the only thing that could possibly be better than being president would be being district governor. But my poor employer, he was like, oh, that's a lot of work because you have to go and visit all the 69 clubs. And so I bought him out, and so now I can do exactly what I want to do. So for anyone in the room, if you can't do exactly what you want to do, buy them out. But if it wasn't for Rotary and my club, I wouldn't be standing here. I have a beautiful career and beautiful firm, and I thank Rotary for that. Rotary taught me public speaking, taught me my leadership skills. I was a transplant here as well, and Rotary just opened their arms and invited me into their community and friendships. And so I belong to a lot of other organizations and on different boards, but when I really look at who my friends are at the end of the day, it's always the Rotarians, and I think it's because you lead with your hearts and just fabulous. So this effectively is my Give Back tour for Rotary, and I really wanted to make it count because I've been waiting so long to do it. So these are my district governor line. So these are the two gentlemen that follow me. There's Mark Shockey and Leif Hagen. Mark Shockey is a pastor, and I tell everybody you're going to need him after me because you're going to have to come here, my children, you're going to be okay. And because the crazy lady will have been done, we decided, like the three amigos that we had with Tom Gump a few years ago, that we would also title ourselves, and we're called the Triple Ripple, so that little ripples turn into big waves of membership and new activity. And my husband and Tom Gump were having some flambe drink in Vancouver on the top of some hotel, and they said, whoa, that sounds like an ice cream. And I was like, okay. So we're engaging with a Minnesota ice cream company to actually make a Rotary Triple Ripple ice cream that will sell for membership. And I will probably be the nut in it. And so we're really happy. We're really happy about that. But the two gentlemen that follow me couldn't be nicer. And it's just a joy to work with them already. And we meet weekly already. Stephanie Urchik is your new international president this year. Her theme is the magic of Rotary. Where that came from is that she was down in South America doing a water filtration project, and the water went in one side into the filter and came out of the other beautifully clean, and there was a little boy that pointed up at it and he said, that's magic. And so that stayed with her forever. She is a wonderful lady. We had an area meeting for several Rotary clubs about 3.5 years ago. And all of the Rotarians were kind of sitting on a table together, chatting to each other. And there was this lady kind of sitting in the corner by herself. So I arrived and went and sat with her and chatted. And she was really lovely. And we exchanged emails and promised to keep in touch. Well, I kid you not, 2.5 weeks later, she was named the incoming international president. And so I quickly emailed her and I said, I loved you before you were famous. Don't forget us. Don't forget our district. And she never has since then. She's been the most wonderful supporter for us. And in fact, for my installation as district governor, there's a line item on the district budget that says gift for incoming district governor. And I said to Alexa, our executive director, I'm the luckiest girl in the universe. I need nothing. Really, strike that. Please don't get me a gift. And she said, okay. Well, at my installation, I collect shoes of very famous women. I have Margaret Thatcher, and I can tell you all of them at a later date. But Stephanie Urchik sent her shoes for me. And so I have Stephanie's shoes, which are adorable. They are crocodile. They are high heels. They are very sexy, and I thought, she's going to be a firecracker this year. And she is a strategist. She's just a really wonderful lady. You need to put it up a bit. Perfect. So she is a strategist. She's a really wonderful lady. I'm too short. Oh, there's my forehead. It'll have to go. We'll need a few more dictionaries. Perfect. Thank you. And so she's really, really fabulous. Still not there. Still not. Oh, there I am. I have a better chance than Debbie, I think. Not much. Perfect. So Stephanie is just, she's just a wonderful lady. And so I think we're going to have a lot of fun with her this year. She is a big strategist. She does think in terms of goals. Rotary for the last couple of years has not focused as much on goals, whereas she, she's really, it's very important to her. So these next couple of slides, we're going to talk about your club specifically. So these ones are all about you. So the first one we'll do is your fundraising. And I've been here to talk to you before, actually twice I think I have in terms of fundraising. And as you all know, and for the guests that are in the room if you don't know, this club, they're rock stars. Rock stars when it comes to fundraising. Our whole district is number 10 in the world in terms of fundraising, which is amazing. There are 520 districts around the world, so if you think about that, you have districts that have New York, San Francisco, Tokyo, Sydney in, but we're number 10, which is amazing. Well, your club, since the inception of your club, has raised for the Rotary Foundation $1,402,807, and that's through the July 12th. That's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's really amazing. When we look at kind of what you raise, on an annual basis, you can see that sort of last year your goal was kind of 37,000, the year before it was 30,000, but you usually blow through what your goals are for your annual fund contributions. So Dwayne will have to talk about maybe raising that a little bit because you keep blowing through it, which is amazing. And then look at your total contributions, just stunning how much that you give as a total. So when I look at the all-time giving, you are only kind of 97,000 away from $1.5 million. Which I think that at that point you should literally go on the top of the Mall of America and just shout it from the top. It's just such a huge amount, and you're a mighty, mighty club, and I have no doubt that you may even get there this year, which will be amazing. And then, so you guys are a huge wow. And then for the people that know less about Rotary today, this slide is specifically for you. The world is truly your oyster when you're a Rotarian. We have many people today that don't join service organizations. They say, oh, I can do charitable things at home and want more flexibility, and why on earth would I join? Well, the real reason is that if you want to change the world, you need help. And the day that you join Rotary, you have all of this fabulous club with you, but in addition to that, you have 1.4 million Rotarians around the world that you can create connections with and things. So for example, when I think about architects, you could create an architect action group with all the architects around the world in creating things. It's just unbelievable. And then if you combine that with Rotary International has a $2 billion foundation, the world is absolutely your oyster. I met a gentleman from Bangladesh at my district governor training, and he had said that many, many years ago they had done a project with Rotary to build a fish farm in Bangladesh. And I thought, oh, that's fantastic. Number one, because that's one of my fantasies, to have like a lobster farm and play them classical music for 7 years as they're growing and they're going to be really happy. So I was very interested in listening to what he had to say. But he actually started tearing up, and I said, oh, what's wrong? And he said, no, well, let me tell you that today Bangladesh is the 4th largest fish farming country in the world. And I mean, look at what Rotary helped there. There were 2 men that went over and helped start the United Nations from Rotary. Rotary has been integral to so many things in the world. And I sometimes say, oh, I'm over 50 now, is real action for younger people? And it's not. Julia Childs wrote her first cookbook at age 50. So anyone in the room, anyone at any age, at any time, can be the change in the world if you want to be. And with Rotary, it's very, very easy to do that. So then let's look at membership for your club. So if we look at your club going back to kind of the highs of the 2011, 2012, when you had kind of 73 members, and now you're at 52 as of the beginning of June. So you lost 5 last year, which is down about 9% as a whole. And so has anyone watched Ted Lasso in here? Anyone watch? Yeah. So on this slide, be a goldfish. Like, look at it, but then forget it. So don't carry it with you. When we look at our overall district, 75% of our clubs are actually staying the same or declining a little bit. And then, so only 25% of our clubs are growing. So it's really rare to be able to grow. So this is not unusual. When I look at my home club, we were started with 100 members. At our height in the 1980s, we were 400. When I was president, we were down to 150, and now we're at 66. So I say that to share that with you, to essentially explain to you that we're all in this together. Now, we have a wonderful foundation at our club, so I always say, even if there are 2 people left, I'm not leaving, because I get to play Santa and give all that money away all the time. So, you know, you've got a great job. However, giving money is so much more fun when you get to do it together and you have more people to do it with. And so our real hope is to grow. And so when we look at the greatest challenge for this year, it really is in gaining more members. So I was a little bit cheeky, and I had a look at Bloomington, Minnesota, and see what population you have out there. And if you extrapolate from the age range, you know, you've got about kind of 30% that are kind of underage relative for Rotary. So, you know, so maybe you take a look and say, okay, maybe, you know, you've got 65,000 people in Bloomington, Minnesota that can be part of Rotary, and you have 52 members. So if you have a couple that fall down on the sidewalk, you can probably grab them and you know, get really lucky. And then if you have a look, is that essentially Bloomington is 34.7 square miles. And so that means you have 2,500 people per mile. Now, there are some clubs that I go to talk to that they might have to walk 10 miles to find another person. But you have to just 1 mile to find 2,500 people, and you've got 52 in your club. So, you know, you could double very easily just by, you know, bumping into people on the sidewalk. You don't even have to go further than a mile. So I think everybody could do it. And so the hope is, again, with this year, is that our clubs really grow. And with that in mind, and I had told Dwayne that this year is going to be wearing Rotary on the outside. Many of you have good Germany and Scandinavia as your background, so you're a little shyer. Maybe you don't even want to. I'm a hugger, and some people even feel like, oh no, stand back, lady. And so sometimes Minnesotans can be a little bit shy, and you don't really rave about yourself. I can tell you that I've met a lot of Texan Rotarians, and they have no trouble shouting it from the rooftops. They usually have the Texan flag on as their shirt already with Rotary slapped on it. You can see them coming truly about 200 yards away. And so this year, we're going to take a little bit of Texas and bring it here and be a little bit louder. And with that in mind, I thought, well, where could you be where you have the largest proportion of Minnesotans in one place, other than a Taylor Swift concert, which we probably wouldn't be allowed to do it there. But I thought the Rotary State Fair. It was a place where we got to go and really tell everybody in the beginning of the year that we are here and we really want you to join us. All of our presidents will be in the parade. And Dwayne doesn't know this yet, but you'll be singing and dancing. There's no tutu involved, but we're not far off from that. So we really hope that everybody comes and joins him and supports him there. And it's going to be a wild day for all of us. Registration has closed officially because we had to order all the T-shirts and the other crazy things we've got for you. But we will be opening it up because so many people have come to me and said, oh, I didn't do it. So we'll be opening up in about another week. For those. And then after that, we also thought that we asked all of our presidents if they would, and this is especially for the membership committee, to understand that we've asked everybody to run their membership campaigns all together in September. Now, if you run them at other times of the year, do those as well. More is better. But we're asking specifically for you to run a membership campaign in September, and we're having all the clubs in our entire district do it together because we really want to make a lot of noise. We'll be doing that in combination with a media campaign and billboards. And as a business person, some people may say, why are you doing billboards? No one's going to join Rotary because you have a billboard up. Well, the truth of the matter is 9 out of 10 of us are really shy and reticent to refer another Rotarian into Rotary. And again, because we're not as comfortable with doing that. So the thought is we're going to try and really appeal to those 9 out of 10 people that need a little extra help and a little bit more public display in coming and do that as well. So we're really excited about that. But however, as I said, I'd wanted the job for 12 years. So 2019, I actually studied for a year at Stanford to learn about innovation and value of organizations, because my dream, again, is to help Rotary continue, because I can tell you that all the money for my last 20 years in Rotary that I've been spending has been from either other members from my club that have come before me or other Rotarians before me internationally. And so, so I really want to give back. So I went around and studied with the other districts what's the fastest way to grow, other than being lucky and being in India where you have population on your kind of demographics on your side. And the concept was sub-clubs. And initially we called it one club, two meeting times. So for example, my club, we meet at noon downtown in the Minneapolis club, and we all love it. But however, we exclude doctors and teachers and dentists because they can't get away in the middle of the day and join us. And so we're opening a club that's called 9 at Night that meets at kind of 5:30 in the evening so that those people that can't join us but really want to be with us can do that. And so in Iowa, District 6000, 25% of their clubs have this concept of two meeting times. And it's not that your club meets two times. It means that one or two members from your club open this sub-club underneath your club and then get all new members to join that one. You can visit it, but it really isn't meant to spread your club even further because all of you have decided that, you know, today at noon is when your club likes it. So it's really an and. It's you get to be exactly how you are and adding more. But of course, my high-achieving presidents took it way further than that because our concept initially was, okay, everybody's going to be opening some 5:30 on Tuesday, extra club with their club. But the presidents just started throwing all these other ideas out there, whether it was an eco club, wine club, somebody wanted a cigar club, and all sorts of interests. And so, and when you hear that, you say, "Oh, Sharon, that's not Rotary. What on earth are you doing in your year? Don't ruin it." And so I say, having a British heritage, perhaps in my club, I would like to have a gardening club. And so, Dwayne, I'm looking at you and you're thinking, oh, what are you doing? You're ruining Rotary. Let me explain why that will work. So Rotary International did a massive survey, and they actually, and I kid you not, they actually asked a million voices what their opinions were on what Rotary is going to look like in the future and what they want. And new people coming into Rotary have really said they want two things. They want fellowship, so they don't want to come into a meeting and have to listen to a boring speaker like me. They really want to come in and get to know people. And the second meeting they want is pure service, which is very different. So if you think about my club, we arrive, we talk for about 10 minutes, sit down, have a speaker, and then go home, and then do some service during the month, but not a lot. But that's what new clubs want. So if we go back to my gardening club, for the fellowship piece, we can all go and visit each other's gardens. We have 34,000 clubs around the world that we can go and visit all their gardens as well, in Singapore and the UK and Versailles. I'm sure there's a club right by Versailles. So that hits the fellowship bit. And then if you think about the service piece, is that our club did as John will remember, we did a Ecuadorian organic farm. And so that would count. But then if you think about climate change, all of these countries are changing weather and changing agriculture. There'll be so many people displaced and hungry that this club could do projects that help unite universities and companies and corporations and governments for decades. So you see, my gardening club will be amazing. But, and so that's how it fits. So what I would ask all of you to do is probably go to the top floor of the Mall of America one day, just all lay down and look up to the sky and just think creatively what you think would fit in this club and kind of what you think there'd be most interest for. And you'd get one or two members and create this whole new club all together. So you wouldn't believe how many clubs are actually aiming to hit 100 members this year that are in like that 66 membership thing. And your club, I know, especially with Don, we know that your club is really, really magic. So if you're at 55, I reckon you guys could do 100 as well this year. And there's none of this +1 at the end of the year. We have one club in the district that wants to open 4 sub-clubs. They do a lot of things for education, so they want to have one club just purely educators. But it's wild what these clubs have been thinking about. So think about it. If you imagined more hands to help you with all of your fundraising and everything you do, it would be brilliant. Don't forget to give me my 2-minute, will you, when you need me to. So then, this is music to Don's ears, our Million Magic Memories dinner. If you remember 2 years ago, your club was absolutely dynamite where you were asked to contribute to our $1 million dinner. and we actually raised 3 million, which was fantastic, and we're doing it again. And the concept behind this is that many people forget about Rotary in their estate, and when we think about the magic memories, if I think about everything that Rotary has given to me, I have not nearly given back to Rotary what I've gained, and it's doing that. And so we'll be coming around and asking again if anyone would like to be part of the legacy giving. Very quickly, we're also going to do a vaccination trip to India. It'll be in the first quarter. We're waiting for the Indian government to announce the day that the polio vaccinations will be, and we'll take care of that. I was always so jealous of everybody going, we're this close, and with the polio drops, I was like, oh, I really want to do it before it's too late to do that. And one thing I can tell you about polio is that having been in Rotary for 21 years and being part of clubs that were really integral in starting the polio, I think the first year in, people said, oh, it's a little bit much, and don't we need something new? And I can tell you that the opportunity to be part of something that you actually can eradicate is brilliant. So very shortly then, and I'll probably finish with these last 2 slides. Carnival Cruises has agreed to take 10,000 pounds of goods from our district to the Bahamas for free, totally for free. And so we are going to be working with the Bahamas clubs to figure out what they need, and we can go on the cruise as well. And so I told Dwayne, for the first 3 or 4 months of this year, we're going to build membership and then truly party for the rest of the year. And this will be part of our partying as well. And then don't forget that the Rotary International Convention is coming here in 2029. What I've asked every president to do is to go and make friends with a new international club. So you have 5 new international clubs that you're friends with, so you can host them when they come here and create great friendships and do that as well. So with that, I will hand it back to you, Dwayne.
Stay right here if you will. Well, I want to thank you for being at our club here. We were at time, so if you do need to leave, I do understand that. You may have a manager who needs you back, so I'll give you that opportunity. But I do want to give the opportunity for anybody who wanted to ask a couple of questions of Sharon. This is an opportunity. We rarely have somebody stopping through of this magnitude, and so I want to give that opportunity for folks to be able to ask any questions that they may have of Sharon. Laura?
Will the district conference continue to be at the state fair or not, or that's up to the next?
It's up to every successive one. It would be my dream to be there forever, but I think like the Queen, they knock me off after 1 year. So, thank you.
Other questions?
There's one very, very special thing that I would like you to be involved, or to consider being involved in as well, is that we're also going to create a project going all the way down the Mississippi. The United Nations has agreed to work with Rotary as a partner for clean water. So they really want clean rivers, clean lakes. And so for the Rotary International Convention, when I go and see fireworks, and if I say to all my friends in Europe, oh, I'm watching the fireworks, they'll go, oh, thumbs up. But if I say I'm watching the fireworks by the Mississippi, everybody is just, they're so excited, because to Europeans, the Mississippi is as exotic as the Nile or the Amazon. And so the thought is, again, the more we can be doing around the Mississippi, the more people will get to come over, because very few people visit me in Minneapolis, whereas they all used to come in New York. But if I say, come and see the Mississippi, then that is just, we're all taught how to spell it when we're children. It's going to be wild. And so we're actually going to do a huge water project with so many clubs and really make that kind of part of something to get people to come. So I hope you'll be involved in that, and because you're very close to it. So there you go.
Thank you. Oh, we'll take a picture here together.
You probably have to dip down to see them.
Hi there. We'll go ahead and end our meeting here, but thanks, guys.